So I haven't been on here in a while, and I wanted to discuss what was going on here recently with my federal lawsuit, the civil rights violations and the lawsuit I filed December the 11th of last year. When I filed the lawsuit, and this is regarding the child support issue, and before anybody gets going and says, "Oh, you in whatever, pay your child support," if you know what I know, you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that. But let me get to it. I filed my federal lawsuit for civil rights violations in December 11th of 2023. The lawsuit prior to that was in 2022 that I filed, where Miss Tanya Pratt, the judge appointed by Barack Obama, took it upon herself to rewrite my complaint, send it off to the appeals court in Chicago after she dismissed my complaint, screened my complaint after I paid my $405 and threw my complaint out in order to protect the judges and prosecutors in Hamilton County, Indiana. I hope everybody is listening to this. I'm going to tell you about corruption that's going on. The DOJ sees this. The Bureau of Investigations in Indiana sees this. The Criminal Justice Institute for Justice in Indiana sees this. The Bar Association sees this. So I'm going to explain this corruption to you guys as I go along through this. My very first lawsuit, they got me when the Sheriff's Department arrested me in 2017, 2020, and 2021 with no warrant, no probable cause, no bill of indictment, no nothing, to find out that they were arresting me under a contract that they have with Title 4D, where they are being reimbursed for arresting individuals for the court. They're all private organizations. The courts, the counties, Title 4D, all of them are. And they have the ability to contract with one another. That's fine, but not to arrest people and circumvent the Constitution, not having no warrant or affidavit of probable cause or nothing, just arresting you because child support is reimbursing them on a monthly basis. So Miss Tanya Pratt threw that first lawsuit out. But during that lawsuit, the culprits in this was Miss Amy Mars of Hamilton County, Indiana, Michael Cassetti, the judge of Superior Court 1 in Hamilton County, Indiana, Christy Smith, the supervisor for the prosecutor's office for child support division enforcement in Hamilton County, Indiana, and Miss Catherine Berry, who was under contract with Hamilton County and DCS to oversee child support cases in courtroom 3D. I was arrested in 2017, 2020, and arrested in Superior Court 1 in 2021. Now, mind you, a judge has no authority to be overseeing a child support issue that's contractual with Title 4D, but Mr. Michael Cassetti found it within his judicial duties to arrest me and incarcerate me for 6 months, which at that time I'd done 2 months of jail time. But when I got out of jail, I sued him in federal court. When the federal court process started, I don't know what happened, but they decided that they sent me an income withholding order terminating the arrears and the income withholding order after I sued them in federal court. And when it went to the appeals court, they threw it out. They threw my income withholding order out and terminated that and the arrears. Okay. So the case went through, and the Supreme Court, my case went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court denied my writ of certiorari, okay? So after the Supreme Court denied my writ of cert, I get a letter from Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office saying that they turned my case over due to a conflict of interest to Kenneth Scott Cook. But in actuality, they turned it back over to DCS, Eric Miller, at the time, Terry Stigdon, who were the directors of Department of Children's Services and Bureau of Indiana. What they turned around and did was hire a private law firm Cook Family Law and Kenneth Scott Cook, as well as appointed a new um, judge, which they try to call commissioner or ALJ, up under Title 4D's rules and regulations and policy. Now, keep in mind, people, Title 4D is a private organization who has hired an attorney to pretend to be a judge. They hired Christopher Barrows of Barrow Legal Group. It's who they hired. So I start getting correspondence from them back and forth. Mind you, not a real summons at all, just letters saying I need to show up for court, for them to start to adjudicate this case that the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office has already terminated and the arrears. After the Supreme Court denied my writ, my cert, okay? Fraud, people will be talking about fraud. So I go to my first hearing and they go through the whole little spiel like they normally do, talking about I'm here on the matter for the minor child, yada, yada, yada. And I tell them, hey, you know what? Amy Crider, who has been on this case for 17 years, terminated the child support income withholding order and the arrears when they were sued in court. Christopher Barrows of Barrow Legal Group and Kenneth Scott Cook of Cook Family Law essentially said, you can kiss our ass. We don't care what they denied. We're starting our new case all over again. Okay, people? Now listen to me, okay? So we go back and forth, and I told them, even besides the fact that they termed this whole order and the arrears, you don't have jurisdiction. And to this day, they have not placed jurisdiction on the record yet, but continue to move forward. In Hamilton County, Indiana, with the backing of Attorney General of Indiana, Todd Rokita, who is in charge of this entire program, getting funding for the state of Indiana for every dollar they spend towards the program. Okay? So they rescheduled me a hearing for January 30th. So we get a whole month that goes by before I have to be back there. But in between that time, I've done my research and my studying. And again, I found out that under 28 USC, now I'm going to go back some because I'm going to tell you about how prior to my December court date, I filed multiple filings and documents in the court stating that I wanted a Article 3 hearing. And this was based on the new case ruling from the higher court in 2023, Michelle Cochran versus FCC or FCS, where the higher court ruled that you have the right to an Article 3 hearing before you are even subjected to these administrative hearings that the state is in charge of, and that they know they are openly violating your rights. So I filed under 28 USC 1441 to transfer my case from the state court to the federal court. That was January the 30th. I had court January 31st. So I go in court January 31st. Now, mind you, I already have a lawsuit pending with Hamilton County Sheriff's Department in Indiana already. Okay, so I go into court and January 31st, and I tell them that I transferred this case under 28 USC 1441. They tell me, well, the ALJ / attorney for DCS under contract hired by Director Eric Miller of the Children's Bureau tells me that him and Michael Casati of Superior Court 1 of Hamilton County, Indiana, struck that transfer from the record. Now, mind you, they've not placed jurisdiction on the record at all. I've challenged jurisdiction over 5 different occasions. To this day, they still have not put jurisdiction on the record, but yet striking things from the record that I filed into the case, knowing they don't have jurisdiction. Okay, so he tells me they struck it from the record. Cool. I tell him that I'm not proceeding because, again, they don't have subject matter jurisdiction. Furthermore, when that transfer that I got from the federal court got that federal case number put on there, that is now a federal document. That case has been officially transferred. So I tell him he does not have the authority to transfer anything or reject or strike anything, let alone a federal document from the record. So he said he's proceeding. I told him that I was leaving, yada, yada, yada. I got up and walked out. He told me I needed to sit down. I told him I'm out of here. Long story short, we ended up getting into an argument. They called multiple sheriffs up there. He had the sheriff stop me. I asked the sheriff, did they have a probable cause or a warrant to arrest me? And what was the cause for the detainment? You know, the deputy Russo, the older sheriff, you know, he's a senior guy, stated to me that he had to do what he was told to do, which means they've been talking way before I even got there. Okay. You know, it was one of the deputies, her name was Nunez, you know, blocked the left side of the door. As I'm walking towards me, it's my right side, but she blocked the door. Then the Russo came up and blocked the left side of the door, you know, and they held me there. They detained me there and yada, yada, yada. And they asked the attorney for DCS, did they want him to detain me? And he said, yes, I want him detained and arrested. But if he cooperates, he won't be arrested. So they basically, they violated my Fifth Amendment right and my First Amendment right when I got into an argument with them. Now, then Deputy Santiago comes up, reaches through the door opening because both of the deputies had the door blocked and grabbed my bicep and held me there also. So that's why all three of them are in the lawsuit. Okay. So they went ahead and, you know, he told me, the attorney, Christopher Barrows, you know, if I, with Barrow Legal Group and DCS attorney, if I apologize to the court, that they would let me go. And if I would agree to cooperate, I'm like, hell no. Because already right there, that's threat, duress, and coercing me to go along with them, or else I'm going to be jailed. So being me, give me my 7 days. And that's exactly what they did, was gave me 7 days in jail. And mind you, there's no crime being committed. I made it very clear to all three deputies, do you have a warrant or probable cause? If you don't, you're going to be in this lawsuit. So by them taking me, kidnapping me, they agreed to be in this lawsuit. So the lawsuit got filed December 11th. This is my fourth arrest now with no warrant, no probable cause. Nothing, no indictment, no nothing. This court case is not backed by any depositions, no affidavits, no nothing. I have presented them with all kind of affidavits, depositions, judicial notices, everything. They ignore everything to keep that money coming in to Hamilton County, Indiana, and the state of Indiana. Okay. I just want to get on here and talk to you, you know, a little bit, you know, about the case, you know, itself and the corruption. And I'm hoping to reach out to anybody's platform who has a podcast where I can get on that podcast and tell them about the real corruption in Title 4D and child support. I got evidence, proof. Nothing I'm saying is a bunch of bull. It's all real talk, real life, and real conversation. So if you're out there and you want to guest on your show, you ain't got to pay me nothing. I will be on there and tell you the truth about what's going on. I got evidence to show you, even after evidence that they're withholding. They're currently in violation of the Brady Rule. The higher court has not said anything to them about it. They just keep letting them do whatever they damn well please and violate your constitutional rights and not say a damn word. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to talk to you. I'm reaching out to any talk show that wants to expose this corruption. Expose it. You're talking to a man who's been arrested 4 times with no warrant, no probable cause, no nothing, committed no crime, in the process of destroying my life right now. So I want to get on here, talk to you about that for a little bit. Um, I'm gonna get back on here probably tomorrow evening around about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and talk to you about what's going on after we filed the federal lawsuit December 11th and what has happened since then. Um, to tell you about the corruption that's going on from the highest level on down and where it currently stands at. Thank you.